So, good afternoon, I'd like to call the Montgomery County Industrial Development Agency meeting to order at 3:33. If we could stand and do the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So in our packets, we have the minutes from our governance meeting on October 9th. Can we have a motion to approve those minutes? A second? Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone need to abstain? Also in the packet was the regular meeting minutes for October 9th, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve those minutes? A second? I'll second. Perfect. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone need to abstain? Communications, there are none. Public comments. So I see there's some people, we got some audience.
Sean Bag, Gwendolyn from Amazon.
Perfect.
And our county legislator, Sheldon.
Perfect. No one else? No public comments. There's no chairs report this evening, this afternoon. Director's report.
No.
Okay. Sure. We have another minute? No, sorry. I know there's gonna be some financial reports, so Sheila.
I'm the only one.
I don't get paid for anything.
So the financials are included in your packet. There's nothing really unusual to report. We have received all pilot payments to date. For school and village, tax that's due, here this past summer time. I do want to mention that, we did close on the Dollar General, project. So you'll see, those funds deposited, into the money market account. And other than that, there was nothing, to report on those. The revolving loan fund report is included in your packet. Just to note, number one, he is paid up to date now. I received, his payment, two of his payments, this past week. Everybody has, all of them have reported their, revolving loan fund, semi-annual reports. I was hoping to have that report to you this month. I am a little behind on that, because of, their reporting, but, hopefully we'll have that by the end of the year, and I can just give you an update.
Is there an idea when Tuesday?
So, no, I don't. She's that 1 month behind now. She is paying monthly now. So I'm hoping, this winter, she's got a few events scheduled. I'll have to her, getting caught up. And also I should mention that, Building Blocks has finally closed. Yay. Yes. They closed on that loan. Ramon is, all paid. Of course, on his, terminated the IDA transaction, and everything went through on Wednesday.
That next meeting we'll have that one.
That'll be, yeah,
Perfect.
her first payment will be due in December. Yes.
Any other questions for Sheila? If not, we do need a motion for the.
Yes, we do.
financial
Yes, we do
reports,
need a
right?
motion for the financial reports, for the, transactions. Thank you.
Mark will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstain? Marketing report, Vin.
Yeah, well, past few months, we had a great, ribbon cutting at Dan Dan. I'm calling 3 extra candy wanted, and.
Then he got a lot.
That was, just a great event that was, put on, but, no, we're still doing Facebook marketing. Been pushing out some different job opportunities too that have come across throughout the county. And we'll keep pushing those out. Rosa Funny is gonna be our small business of the month, this month. They wanted to do it later. And, next month we'll go back out to, who's the,
Trusses,
yeah, Country Trust.
Countryside Trusses.
Countryside Trust, we'll do that in December, same time, so. I mean, on the tourism side of things, we just released like a video series about kind of hidden gems in the county. Or some of the small local restaurants that people that moved away and came back to start a business, or that moved from out of town and just moved here within the past couple of years to start a business. So those are three really good videos that we've done. And then we're also going to start and then in December, a kind of like an Italian heritage video with talk about Italian heritage and the local community and some of the restaurants or businesses such we haven't talked about, so.
Great. Any questions for Vinny? All right.
Oh, we also have a holiday party that is coming up. Steph, you wanna talk about that?
So we're teaming up with the Village of Fonda to do a light up the night event. They do their tree lighting, it's gonna be December 5th, they're gonna do their tree lighting at 5:30. We're doing a Christmas or holiday themed trunk or treat, similar to Halloween, except for it's gonna be Christmas candy, Christmas gifts. We're trying to get fire departments involved. Know your own one. And then any other businesses who wanna come and do their trunk and hand out candy canes or little gifts. Something different, we figured we'd try it out.
Right now, we're getting those kiosks fixed.
Yes,
And
they started working on yours.
we're gonna buy new bolts for it from too.
Thank you.
Great. Anything else? All right, unfinished business from last time. So the first one is gonna be resolution 25-16. This is in regards to selling the property we own in the village of Harry to NBT, it's the NBT parking lot.
Yeah, in your resolution, which will have to be changed, I believe there's a whereas that refers to. Monthly rent payments of 15 months at $10,000 per month. Subsequent to that, MBT did approach us and they wanted the right to a purchase and sale agreement. Without the 15 months to go right to a acquisition price of $150,000. So we'll just change that, whereas chair of the resolution, I believe. It's in the resolve clause, change there.
Chris, we need a motion to amend first, or we can just make that and vote on it.
I'm considering the resolution as these tweaks it as mine.
Perfect.
And keep in mind on this one too, we will be meeting with NBT. And Coach McKinsey, Harry, I believe tentatively Monday on site to discuss exactly where that parking lot's gonna be. Something like that.
The part that will go
The
to.
part that will go to the village of Canterbury.
Any other questions? Just honestly, good job on negotiations. This gets us out of anything that we lease anymore, right?
Yes.
We have no more rental properties and leasing, no more parking lots, perfect.
Chair,
Yes.
just not to be aware of that, but I think we all know this, because this, the appraisal came out at more than $100,000, we need to send a 90-day letter out to the state entities. So we have to wait that many days before we can actually sell the property.
And under your guidance, though, we thought that this price did not raise any red flags. Perfect. All right, if anybody, Counselor, any other questions, comments? If not, we have a motion.
I'll offer.
A second? I will second. Roll call vote.
Mark Crosby. Yeah.
Aye.
Matt Matthew Beck,
Yes.
Brent Benplace,
Aye.
Cheryl Reese,
Aye.
Edward Watt,
Abstain.
Jessica Steer,
Aye.
Dan Roth.
Perfect. The next one is resolution 25-17. This is actually a sale of land as well, the M LLC. And you want to give a little?
Yeah, just a quick background in this, I forgot, it was August or September's meeting, we approved the LOI with MLLC. All this does is it enforces what was in the LOI, it authorizes the purchase and sale agreement for us to execute purchase and sale agreement with Penn LLC for the agreed upon purchase price. This here also, obviously, because of the price, will also have a 90-day notice that will be sent before we can close on this, and then we are in the process of having our council and county council look at us closing on the actual 19 acres between the IDA and the county. So we want to get that done before the end of the year too, so that's why. Chair. Correct. 2.25.
Any questions or concerns? All right, can we have a motion for the resolution to approve? Motion. A second? Yes. Perfect, roll call vote, please, Stefan.
Brent Place,
Yes.
Nancy Beck,
Yes.
Mark Waltrip,
Aye.
Cheryl Reese,
Aye.
Edward Watt,
Abstaining.
Jessica Seer,
Aye.
Dan Rupp.
Okay. The next is new business. Our first resolution under new business is resolution 25-18. Which is around the Amazon project.
Let me jump in here, Chair. Just to let you guys know that we did have a public hearing. There were a couple of comments. Most of you guys were there. There were a couple of comments we did receive, which was in your packet, a written letter from the Farm Alliance for Florida Farmland or something like that. So just didn't know if anybody had any comments from the board in relation to that letter.
The thing they gotta realize was that letter due back in the 90s. Updated their comprehensive plan, and at that time, they wanted to see all industrial and commercial development, or residential development within that corridor on the north side of the town of Florida, which that falls into. And that was actually established by the farmers, but most of the people that paid that were all in the farming industry, and they wanted to see the remainder of it all remain ag, so I get their point, but their comprehensive plan also falls in line with what we're doing here.
I will just say that the one public comment that was made was about a pilot that was given to the 1 mile or the last mile facility that's also on Route 5S. And just so we're saying this in public, we couldn't have a back and forth in the public comment period at that time. That's not true. There was no pilot that was granted at that time to the last mile facility that's also on Route 5S. So I just want to publicly put that on record at this meeting. That was just something that there was some miscommunication on. Some of the other feedback was the time that we had the public meeting. And I think it's something maybe we consider next time we have something about maybe setting the time later in the evening.
Midday.
Yes, we did it at 4 o'clock. People were, one of the things that we did say, in defense of us was that there was always the opportunity to send in written comments in advance. So I think we can take that into consideration the next time we have a public hearing and set a time that might be more reasonable. But I think that was really the only, besides what was also in the letters, I think that was the only thing that I just wanted to make sure publicly we were addressing.
Yeah, I will say, if you have it late at night, that's great.
Yeah.
If you have it during the day, well, I can't go.
And that's kind of what we, that's kind of why I just split the difference between what plans we get. According to the place we get at night, especially during agriculture, but maybe even their hours are all.
Fulfill the legal requirements all the time.
Chris, council, do you want to walk us through the next two?
Sure.
Resolutions.
So this resolution for Amazon is a secret resolution. The town of Florida Planning Board issued a negative declaration for this project, which is attached to the resolution today. Finding that the project will not have a negative effect on the environment. Amazon submitted a full EAF environmental assessment form for the project, so the town board and we're really kick the tires on this. This is kind of the gold standard for us as the ID board. We're just piggybacking up their finding, not making our own secret determination. That we have no reason to think that their determination was incorrect. So this is a perfect example of how it should go. Happy to answer questions.
Anyone have any questions on that one?
No, thank you.
Can we have a motion? I'll make the motion.
Go ahead, Sharon.
Roll call vote, please, Stephanie.
Nancy Beck,
Yes.
Mark Waltrip,
Aye.
Brent Place, Cheryl Reese,
Aye.
Edward Watt,
Yes.
Jessica Seer,
Aye.
Daniel Rupp.
Resolution number 25-92, council, you want to walk us through?
Yeah, this is just a standard approving resolution for street use projects like this. It authorizes the IDA to enter into these SPAC pilot agreement, local agency project agreement, start the job and all that good stuff. Also you'll see on exhibit A to the resolution, or the approved resolution due, in the stuff, and the benefits that are expected for this project, you see 750 full-time employees within 3 years. Estimate value of the tax exemptions, you'll see sales tax exemption number, real property tax exemption number, private sector investment. This project is estimated to be $621 million project. So, any questions?
And if you look, we did internally, like we do for every project, if you look at, we did the MIP cost benefit calculator, that's also was in your packet with regards to the local fiscal impacts that we would receive from this project in the course of the 15-year pilot. So the local benefit, through the course of the 15-year pilot would be $679,746,572. The state benefit would be $32,579,47. Yeah, the local benefit versus cost of the 10-to-1 ratio, which was 6 years shown.
Any other questions? If not, I will make the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote, please, that.
Matthew Beck,
Yes.
Mark Walchuk,
Aye.
Brent Dunn-Place,
Aye.
Cheryl Reese,
Hi.
Edward Watt,
Yes.
Jessica Seer,
Hi.
Daniel Ruff.
At this time, I'd like to. Oh, sorry, I didn't see when, so. So. There's a lot in this.
This is the most land sales I've.
Lot of scrolls.
Take it easy, that's for the quarter to go.
Did you get it?
No.
Sorry.
There will be resolution 25-20, resolution authorizing the sale of properties of 5 wind properties LLC. As you recall, this is the wind construction project that we did the LOI with probably about a year ago. They have wrapped up their due diligence with regards to SHPO, Army Corps of Engineers, DEC stuff. They're currently going to be in the process of going through the site plan review process for the town of Florida. But at this point in time, they're comfortable with regards to everything that they found during their due diligence to proceed forward. They requested that they would like to proceed with a purchase and sale agreement with us. They will be back to us at some point in the near future with regards to an IDA application as well on this project. If you look at Dustin's letter, this is what was agreed upon through the LOI. Because there are wetlands on this site, obviously, there are all. So he states in here that the survey shows 12.75 acres with 0.68 acres being unusable. With the wetlands, the map is attached. So it's actually 12.09 usable acres on this. And based upon that, the purchase price would be 180, 150. Correct.
And the appraisal we got was 190.
Appraisal,
So basically removing the wetlands.
Right.
That's that.
And on this one as well, it'll be an item.
Any questions? Discussion? If not, do we have a motion?
So.
A second? I'll second it. Roll call vote, you said.
Edward Watt,
Yes.
Matthew Beck,
Yes.
Mark Walchuk,
Aye.
Brent Dunn-Place,
Aye.
Cheryl Reese,
Hi.
Jessica Seer,
Hi.
Daniel Ruff.
So now I'd like to. No.
There's two other presentations that we are gonna have. I think Chris, let's start with your project first in the town of Amsterdam. I believe I sent an email to you related to the project. Chris wanted to, and his team wanted to come in and present what their housing project would be in the town of Amsterdam. So we're offering that opportunity to the board. I believe that will help for us.
Thanks, Ken. Chris Myers, Concord Development. I've got some handouts. I don't know if you guys are all interested. With me, second is Katie Kemp,
legal counsel, because you guys use all the big words and I don't understand.
That's why Chris is here for me.
I've been working on a project, Log City Road, Tom Amsterdam, for a few years now. I think you folks are familiar with what I consider phase one, which was the, or is the Echo Flats. The Echo Flats. The part of the flats. I sold that piece to Mr. Bruns. As you move down Log City, the next large piece is the one I'm referring to. Right now, I have site plan approval. And basically, everything in place to start to build 80 market rate condominiums. And in phase two of that, we have PUD approval for an additional 250 or so units. Type of product is yet to be named, whether it's condos, townhouses, rentals. There's been some interest in possibly some assisted living. So I'm here just to get some feedback. Obviously, costs are out of sight lately, the construction costs. We're unsure still with this whole natural gas ban. So what kind of relief can the IDA give me for a condominium project? I'm not sure how many guys, I'm being told condos aren't really the fit for IDA, but I'm hoping we can figure something out to get creative.
So I can speak of this, traditionally, that's our firm, I should set back, our firm's been doing IDA work for 35 years, it's kind of a specialty. The benefits that an IDA can provide for the branches, like our sales tax benefits, property tax benefits, and mortgage tax benefits. Housing traditionally was kind of followed up at the state level with the authority budget office, which was over this organization. In the last, let's say 15 years, ID's got a company with a housing project star and IDA project. However, housing project in the sense of an IDA project is always a rental project. It's never anything that's owned by to first-time homeowners in general, whether it's a condo or a single family house, it's standalone. So it's not something that the IDAs have ever done, like bring up the cycles, make sure it wasn't. This is something we've never done it. I've never heard of any other IDAs doing setting projects, assuming it's ownership you're talking about rather than rentals.
This phase one of the ownership, right? Phase two, we don't know yet.
Right. So. Really kind of like here, that's kind of the answer from a legal perspective.
So absolutely no IDA assistance?
No.
Yeah, I mean, we understand that this board has done residential projects before, but that the condominium use is not typical for IDAs. I think the whole purpose of us coming to present here today is to get, the sort of feedback to see what this board would consider doing, for a condominium type project, given that it's not specifically addressed in your UTAP. I will leave it there. Unless the board has any other feedback.
I'll open it up to other topics. I think we're in alliance with.
Yeah, no,
what Chris has stated. I mean, the next phase, if we wanna have conversations about and, what we wanna do, but I think at this point, I hear you on the UTEP policy, I've made note. We can try to work through that and address it in the UTEP policy, but for right now, we're gonna lean on our council's expertise on that, I think. As our position, and then we can update that policy when applicable, if we think we need to. I think would be our position, and I think as you approach phase two, and what you wanna do, I think we're open to have that conversation. Housing is something that we're very interested in our county. Brett has actually been our real spokesman here on this.
Manchester Associates back in 2006, when they started Mohawk, was just looking for relief also, and at that time, nothing was given also for single family homes at a range in value now between 500 and $1 million, so.
Does the law, Katie maybe already mentioned this, I may have forgotten, does it specifically say condominiums? The reason I ask, I think you can purchase condo and then rent it out, so does that change things?
If the assistance related purchase the condominiums, then it doesn't change the analysis, unfortunately. No. And again, you're correct that UTEP doesn't say that, but the UTEP also doesn't say a lot of things, right? It's a good reading of it. But no, that kind of goes against, I think the idea, step back for something with the idea is that you're helping someone get a condo, you're giving them a financial benefit, and then we're getting it's helping them get more equity in their home, which sounds like a good thing, which that's kind of doing that state out with public funds. I know that sounds kind of, but I think that's kind of the end of the analysis.
If I could just present another question, for consideration for phase two, if the intent is to move forward with rental of the condominiums, but potentially they might be sold in the future, would the board consider something where the condos are peeled out of a pilot? Upon sale?
I mean, that's something we could consider in other words, but then you'd have documents that would have to be terminated out of X once the, once the condo is sold or rented out, and so it's a possibility, it's just a question whether the board has the right to do that.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think those are the conversations we're all open to on phase two. Mr. Myers, I'm sorry that it wasn't, the outcome that you were hoping for. However, I think we've, Brent bringing in the historical way we've done this at other sites, and Chris explaining where we're hurt at that really on the phase two part of this, we're more than happy to have those conversations, float ideas like that, and explore our options on it. Again, I want to make sure that you're leaving here knowing housing is a priority for us, but we're also going to make sure that we do it within what the intent of the IDA and their fiscal duties are.
Oh, understood. Ken warned me a little bit that. And I did hear about a holiday party, so that's. So.
But thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
The next item of business is we sent you guys we talked about this before, you guys can see this, I think maybe a month or two ago from, me along with the county legislature, need information on this potential project in the village of Elston. We did get Aaron's here, his team is here from Any Level Lift. That's a summary from before. You guys did get the signed IDA application from him. I did touch base for this for council. What Aaron would be requesting as far as an action tonight. Before we get to that, Aaron, you just want to explain to the board your, where you're at with your project, what exactly it is, and some of the benefits that you're going to bring to the village.
Yeah, I didn't get my packets laminated, but I did. I did bring some here. I got it.
First of all, who's the guy?
There you go. This way.
Yeah, he's got the lifted truck.
You'll need that. So. I'm Aaron Aldrich. I couldn't even give it a door there. Maybe the running board. Yeah, so I'm Aaron Aldrich. I'm the owner of Any Level Lift. We manufacture high-end suspension systems for pickups. We're currently out in Falls and Lake, New York. And Matt is here. He's from Drive Heavy Duty, which is a truck dealership, which is going to rent a portion of the facility from us so we can co-locate, use a lot of the same resources, also bring truck sales to my product line. So I think it's a really good fit. I try to basically summarize the IDA application in the handout there. I think I gave out mine, but essentially this is for the two of the three sold Casilla or Wally's dealerships in Alliston, plus a couple of vacant parcels of land. There's been recent subdivisions on those, and I basically just outlined the entire 4 parcels that are going to be part of that. So the company that's going to be purchasing this is my property holding company, Montgomery Alliston. Any Level Lift is the operating company, and again, Drive Heavy Duty is going to be renting. Basically, we're looking to purchase this. We've got a purchase contract in place for 2.25 million on that, and we're nearing the end of our due diligence period. So the taxes, unfortunately, on this property are quite on the high side for what we're comfortable spending. So we this is going to be a big step for us. I'm currently in 6,000 square feet. We're looking at 41,000 square feet here, right? And there's a bunch of land. But the idea is I'm capped right now. I have no room in my existing facility. If you flip through, I gave a couple pictures of what we're doing all this work out of currently. I mean, I started this out of my uncle's garage, 9 years ago. In Little Falls, just outside Little Falls, like my parents' house is 25 minutes from the property, so. It's nice to, it'll be nice to get back to the roots, you know? But, in order to keep growing, I'm looking to purchase a laser cutter, a brake press, bring a powder coating house, paint booth and all that. And we need space. So, Matt, he sells trucks, the property's 10 minutes or so from the freeway exit, so we'll be able to move trucks in and out of there. But, so that's basically our desire to get there, right? But again, we need some help on the taxes side of things.
Aaron, one question, that acquisition price, that includes like equipment, tools that they left for you too?
It
right?
does, yeah, there's lifts in the
Like that.
facility, yeah,
That goes to that.
cabinets and things of the sort, so.
With Matt's piece, would yours just be a dealership? Would you also be working on vehicles, doing small maintenance?
So there's the dealership aspect, there's maintenance of there.
It would be the whole.
Leasing. Typically, we stay in the 3/4 ton to 1 ton truck range, we don't really get into consumer cars. So it's just like that more
Commercial stuff.
side of it. Yeah,
Contracted.
yeah, service bodies, frame trucks, just regular F-250 pickups. Whatever other branch, but and that's so.
And the new parcel is gonna be all one parcel, correct? Would be all one parcel, the two western facilities? Is that gonna be two separate parcels?
Four total, so there's
Currently,
yeah, we just did the subdivision off that, the Chrysler property to the right.
Yep.
Like, I'm not sure how that's I was assuming it was gonna stay as 4 parcels, and
Or you could
Those
combine
would
it,
all turn into one parcel.
you could combine it into one, that's.
we can do that one, okay,
So structure wise, you would be the owner
correct,
renting, so it'd be one application that came to us
which,
for that?
yes, yeah,
Okay, and just since we're in, a public setting, if there's any deviation to a pilot, we require all taxing jurisdictions to sign off on that, sir. So I just want to make that clear to everyone.
A little bit on it.
Sure.
I know I have to abstain from vote, but the village board Nelson is very much this project. I was at the town hall meeting last night. Supervisor and his board under certain conditions are in favor of this pilot. School district so far has said they are in favor, that they said they want good ones to make sure this doesn't happen. I'm gonna say, with that, Aaron's team talked about doing in like some sort of apprenticeship or training program potentially.
yeah, I mean, we could have folks on site do tours of the facility, talk them through everything, we could go to career days, internship opportunities and things like that.
We're just looking at the last page of what they have on that, last page, second to last page of what they've got going on here. Have you gone to shows, different parts of the country, things like
Yeah,
that?
there's big truck shows kind of scattered all around the country, right? And I gave you an example of one that was held here a couple months ago down in Jamestown, Tennessee, which is in a similar kind of not in the middle of nowhere type of place. And I mean, they're bringing in some serious spectators and trucks. That's
Going off what Aaron's saying, and thinking back to last month, and we had to post a report county here, I think. That opens a good opportunity, having like, if there's a way to partner with, with Aaron and some of the people that are working and down the supply chain. Getting, footage or images of some of these events, so that we have kids that never left the area. That might be interested in going into this kind of work and get training programs at the BOCES, but they would see these sort of events with some of the equipment that Adam was talking about last month.
Yeah, question. So, a very quick question, so the purchase of the property, there's gonna be some renovation of the existing, I'm sorry, renovation of the existing building, fit all your equipment, as your typical things, right?
yeah, we can use it as is to start to get some of these bigger pieces of equipment there to help with our cost of goods sold and get our footing before we do too much, extensive renovations in there, but we want to clean it up, get it branded, get the signage in there.
Most of the renovations.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you were adding any other additional buildings or anything to it.
No,
No.
There's one events, fit like.
yeah, there's a bunch of land there that we, over time, as we grow the events, it'll give us room to grow into that.
The other thing I would mention is, so Nelson is, hopefully next week, we're getting the deadline for submissions for our comprehensive plan. There's my plan with Palatine Bridge, part of the solar field, the corridor opening up down there. You know, so having this kind of stuff. Going, you know, like if we had something like this early on before we get into the plan, I think we can build a lot of stuff based around tourism and. They're probably seasonal, yeah, but I mean, there's even the opportunity maybe down the line with a, you know, year with good snow, having some of this come down to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty popular, and that's. A lot of speedway did that a few years ago, right? It's pretty. The other thing I'd add is, I think we're pretty close. The municipalities on an agreement that have come down to, I think, what the county has to say. Next week, you know, Ken, you're going to that meeting, I'll attend, I know, I have to be invited to speak, if I speak, I'll let it speak with legislators speak last night. Seemed pretty supportive of this as well, so I'm happy to add that information to the legislature next week.
Perfect. And I mean, Ed is, we've got his ears to the grindstone out there, so if he's saying there's good potential, I just wanted to let you guys know that that is one of the policies here is to get the taxing jurisdictions to all sign off on any deviation from our typical pilot.
Supervisor McLaughlin had a pretty good plan in place.
Great.
There might be one point of stipulation that's gotta be worked out between the others, but other than that, I went through those items for the air last night. Most they seem to keep them with like the job numbers, that sort of thing, right?
Right.
Makes sense.
Will you keep your current location? Yeah. Everything will move. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I may, I know where you guys are located, because I do work with CBM, it's a small facility, this will give you a lot of growth space.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. So it's a 3 tiers, we're doing real property, we're gonna give them a sales exemption as well for.
Talk to Aaron about it, right now, as it stands right now, it's real property tax exemption. And then most likely a mortgage recording tax exemption, so will be some type of, what that number is, we don't know yet, but there'll be some type of mortgage,
Sales tax.
Sales tax is obviously available to Aaron if it fits within obviously a certain year window.
Yeah.
Where he's doing renovations, so yeah, all 3 would potentially be available.
Just like your heavy equipment, like your power, all that type of stuff, you get it, make sure exemption on the sales tax and that.
Got
Yeah.
How many years? We'll get to that.
Okay.
And you understand the limit on that, so one of the concerns sometimes we have when people say, you know, right now the taxes are, you know. You're figuring, I'm assuming you've been successful in that, you figure a business plan, that little reprieve will allow you to get to a spot where you're gonna be able to pay when it goes on to the full tax roll.
Right, yeah, I mean, even these events, once those get up and running, you know, sure, something like that.
My question, have you ever been to Mountain Madness out here in Montgomery County?
Years ago. Yeah, I was.
That's a weekend event when people come in with
Yep.
campers and stuff and,
Yeah,
all the same type of thing with trucks.
that's a little bit more of a rowdy crowd where there's.
That's why I'm asking the question. Yeah, a weekend event versus a big event is a big thing, especially between 2 municipalities, so.
Right,
Yeah, planning board would look at that.
yeah, we certainly would be running all the plans through.
Yeah.
They're gonna be doing doggy races too for now.
It might have been jacking them up, right?
Aaron, sure, I did have one question for clarity on the application.
Yep.
If you look at section E.
E?
Yeah, section E, description of equipment. It says, acquisition or installation is a yes, but then, on the section 5 on the summary, the total amount, the 2.2 is for the building, but no equipment, so does that mean you're moving your existing equipment, you don't plan to buy any?
Yeah, I have existing.
Okay,
That I'm moving, and I'm going to buy more equipment that's not part of this, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Clear, thank you.
A lot of equipment in the buildings really.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to, that was my only question.
Tell us again how you got started. Slide work.
Well, I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, actually, I went to RPI, so I think we're. But I, you know, like I grew up outside of Little Falls, I've just always been into big jacked up trucks, and then. When I graduated college, I bought a system that was an air ride system, so the truck went up and down. But it didn't, you couldn't drive it with it all the way lowered, you couldn't drive it all the way lifted, you still had to drive it at a specific height. And I kind of looked at it and said, I can do better than this, you know, and I built my own prototype and I ended up getting it patented. And I was working at Knowles Atomic Power Laboratory at the time, just as a regular engineer, and I said, well, if I'm ever gonna try to see if I can make something happen here, now's the time.
You're definitely on.
We'll have to talk, cause I worked for mail.
Oh.
You're definitely onto something with this business, because I work in real estate where people complain about a 6% interest rate right now, yet they'll go out and spend $2,000 a month on a truck.
Right, yeah.
You're in this business, my friend.
People love their trucks.
We were actually pretty impressed. I mean,
Yeah, thank
when
you.
we dove into this and we knew this was coming forward, you instantly just go away, you just jacking up trucks, then we saw some of the products, realized how big your brand is and the things you were doing, and then putting a dealership on the property, I think, Ed's talked about it, it seems like a very worthwhile
Well, I
project.
think
It makes sense.
where we're talking about, as transitioning away from some of the development in the eastern part of the county and setting our sights in the western part.
Yes.
I think stuff like this will build a lot of energy, seeing what's happening with each on site. There's some of the engineering plans we have coming together, and it would show that the western part is really great meeting stuff and. So,
I'm really impressed with your salaries, like. How many employees do you have now that will be coming with you?
Me plus 6,
Okay, and so in addition to that is about,
plus Matt will come on with
full staff. I'm currently located about 2.5 hours away,
okay,
so I would have to bring on full, basically your staff.
so you about to double that once you, right?
Yeah, so a lot of the equipment costs that we're bringing in, we're gonna need Janice, we're gonna need power, but we're gonna need people to tend to stuff that we're not currently tending, that we're subcontracting, right? So I wanna bring all that in-house so we can control schedules and get our cost of goods sold down to some keep growing.
I want to point out too that the village of Canterbury, recently we lost custom clads, we still have people in the local area that are trained in powder coating. So there's actually benefit.
You do anything with EDMs and CNCs and stuff like that?
I guess, not EDM, but I currently have vertical mill, Haas, CNC mill and a lathe.
You could spin off in other areas with us.
Oh, yeah. I've got a laser cutter already spec'd out, brake press, everything's spec'd out, just needs a home.
Good, that's what we like to hear.
Welcome to Montgomery.
So Dan. This is where every.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right. Any other?
That's when you paid off the student loans, but
They're paid off. They were expensive.
We'll find out. When you realize the case comes in, we'll go for it. All right, thank you, guys. Very good.
Thank you.
All right, now. All right. So can I get a motion to go into executive session to discuss a business financials?
Yes.
All right, first, second, all in favor? Aye. Okay, thanks, Ben, we going,
This one.
Alright, so we were out of executive session, no action was taken. Council, if you don't mind, can you walk us through a resolution on what we need to do with the lift project?
Sure, so we received an application from Montgomery Nelson LLC project. There will need to be a few revisions to the application, but if the board is comfortable, I'm more than happy to just have a public hearing resolution project got authorized by the board. Happy to answer questions.
Any questions? We need a motion. I'll offer the motion. Cheryl second. Roll call vote on that, right?
Matthew Beck,
Yes.
Mark Waltrip,
Aye.
Brent Fedplace,
Yes.
Cheryl Reese,
Aye.
Edward Watt,
Abstain.
Jessica Seer,
Aye.
Dan Roth.
Any other business? If not, can we have a motion to adjourn? Second. Perfect, all in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed?
No.
Abstain, perfect. Thank you.
I just wanna let